Welcome once again to another episode of Kipao Media. I'm your host, Douglas Ebole. Today we're going to look at the influence that entertainers have actually had in the Kenya political sphere and the position they actually hold in the Kenyan political system, and how they're used by the political elite not only to confuse the public but also to divert attention to the critical problems that are facing the country and the critical issues that need to be addressed. I've always advised my countrymen against not only electing comedians, musicians, and entertainers into political office, but I've also warned them against following their propaganda and what they do in terms of public influence on different issues. I know entertainers will be there to entertain. They will be invited to events by politicians. They will be invited to events by corporate entities. They'll be on your television screen. But let's keep it as entertainment. Let's keep it as music, and let's keep it as politics. Entertainers are not your leaders. Majority of the individuals, this is their skill, this is their trade, and they will do anything so long as they get paid in their skill and their trade to actually continue to do whatever they do. Entertainers have never had serious stands when it comes to serious issues, so long as the check was being written for them to actually turn up. Very few have had very strong stands, and sometimes they ended up paying for it. So as an entertainer, I would suggest that, keep to your entertainment, nothing wrong with that. But to the electorate, do not confuse your entertainers for leaders. When you start looking at your entertainers, and I'm talking about musicians, comedians, even pastors, they're in the same category as entertainers because they're not even serious in whatever they do in those religious circles. When you start following these people and what they say, or the kind of agenda that they push, or the political parties they support, or where they put their weight politically, I think you're being deceived. You're being hoodwinked and you're being bamboozled. Keep away from political influence through entertainment. Another thing I'd like to touch on is the use of entertainers to actually divert public attention, confuse the public through entertainment, and be able to actually distract the public from very serious things that are happening in the country, or very serious issues that need to be tackled. We've seen clandestine relationship between politicians and entertainers. You see them walking in and out of State House. They're known. They actually have a very clear function in terms of how the politicians move and how they're able to hoodwink people. We see that entertainers are always invited whenever there are serious issues in the country, whether it's a referendum, whether it's voting on a specific issue, whether it's a campaign and political parties. We see a lot of these entertainers, and I'm talking about them in groups. It could be actors and whatever they are, but we see a lot of them being invited to big political parties, being invited to different campaigns and being allowed to speak, being allowed to give opinions. And yes, we know they have a following. And it is now for me to say that, it's the following that I'm talking to. I know you have entertainers that you like. I know you have comedians, you have musicians that you like. But please refrain from following their political ideology without a clear understanding of what is happening, or what is the political ideology that is being pushed, and who's behind it, and where is this actually potentially leading the country to. So what I would like to say is the current influence, or rather the current push by entertainers to actually vie for public office is something that I do not support. It's something that I hope the Kenyan public has actually seen through experience from the few entertainers that were elected, and the kind of work they do, or the kind of development, or the kind of agenda that they've been pushing. I hope that Kenyans can actually mature from that and be able to actually make better decisions and let the entertainers stay back doing what they normally do, because some of them hardly contribute to serious issues that are being discussed either in county assembly or maybe in parliament or in the Senate. And we're seeing a deterioration of the honorability of such offices by individuals who cannot even carry themselves properly, cannot express themselves properly, and are not really contributing towards the electorate or the people who actually elected them. So my advice is, do not elect entertainers in public office. Look for serious individuals amongst yourself, people who are committed to community development, people who have an ideology, are committed to actually working and serving the community, people who can actually be productive, and they can be able to contribute in national affairs in a sober and in a more engaging way that can actually lead to meaningful and tangible developments for yourselves and the people around you. This is Kipao Media, and I'm your host, Douglas Ibole. Please share in your comments what you think about this topic. Let me know if I'm missing out on something. Let me know if I'm right, if I'm wrong. Let me understand if this is an issue that really needs to be addressed, because lately we've seen a lot of entertainers trying to vie for public office and trying to be leaders, political leaders from different areas. Everybody has a right to vie. I'm not saying that you don't have a right, but I am cautious about people who are actually vying for other reasons rather than being able to provide what is needed for their constituents. Until next time, see ya.